The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Mr. Taneti Maamau, President and Minister for Foreign Affairs and Immigration of the Republic of Kiribati. I request protocol to escort His Excellency and invite him to address the Assembly.
Madam President of the General Assembly, Head of States and Governments, Secretary General of the United Nations, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. In His holy name and on behalf of the government and the people of Kiribati, I extend our warm greetings to you all. I am honored to warmly congratulate you, Madam President, on your election to preside over this historic 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. And I wish you every success as you guide these important deliberations. Madam President, we commend your theme, Better Together, 80 years and more for peace and development and human rights, reminding us of the enduring importance of multilateral cooperation in addressing global challenges. For Kiribati, it underscores the value of working collectively to advance peace, safeguard human rights, and promote sustainable development. Your Excellencies, Kiribati welcomes the initiative of the Secretary General to reform the United Nations for the challenges and realities of the 21st century in order for it to respond more effectively to member needs, especially small island developing states or SIDS, and the least developed countries, LDS. These countries are faced with unique and special circumstances that require targeted assistance and support from the UN. The Secretary General's UN 80 initiative is a crucial step toward a more effective UN. In this context, we encourage reforms that remove duplication, improve efficiency, and ensure that mandates most vital to vulnerable nations, such as climate action, sustainable development, and resilience, are protected and enhanced. Kiribati is proud. Since joining the UN, we have been contributing in our way to its mandates and its initiatives. On the international level, especially peace and security, Kiribati has actively supported the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, particularly in the implementation of Article 6 and 7, efforts which we jointly coordinate with Kazakhstan. We fully support the United Nations push for a world free of nuclear weapons and are committed to addressing man-made disasters like dumping of nuclear waste, radioactivity wastewater discharges, and traversing of nuclear-powered submarines, and testing that pose grave risk to our oceans' fragile health. Advocating for a nuclear-free ocean and the world should be backed by our commitment to peace and security. Kiribati has strengthened governance in the capital and is now working with the outer highlands to improve accountability, develop relevant initiatives, manage assets, and enhance customer service. These efforts are very essential for peace and security. Aligned with our KV20 roadmap to transform Kiribati into a healthy, wealthy, and peaceful nation, we sent our police officers to support the UN peacekeeping missions. Kiribati also actively engages in social and cultural initiatives for peaceful living. Gospel Day, now celebrated across Kiribati, unites all faith-based organizations to worship together, fostering respect, unity, and peace. We hope this approach promotes religious tolerance worldwide, making it a better place to live. Peace, security, and respect for the UN Charter are essential for sustainable development. Kiribati is committed to SDGs, emphasizing SIDS, or Small Island Developing States, unique circumstances. Along with the other SIDS in the Antigua and Barbuda Agenda for SIDS, ABES, we aim for resilient prosperity through technological and digital solutions. These innovations are vital to overcoming challenges from geographical isolation and limited economies of scale. While Kiribati has technological constraints, we see digital solutions as key to enhancing public services, education, commerce, and climate resilience. Kiribati faces climate challenges, but it remains resilient. While some narratives claim our islands are sinking, we have traditional and modern strategies to adapt and thrive. Our efforts, aligned with international climate goals, focus on building resilience, protecting livelihoods, and preserving our culture. We urge global action to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius and support frontline states to the loss and damage fund. We welcome and commend the International Court of Justice in its landmark decision, giving its firm hope and assurance that Kiribati and other vulnerable countries will continue to exist in light of climate change impacts. This milestone demonstrates what the Blue Pacific can successfully achieve collectively, and that is to secure the full legal certainty and permanence of our maritime zones, irrespective of the impacts of climate change. The Multidimensional Vulnerability Index, the MVI, is particularly important for Kiribati as it captures the combined effects of economic, social, and environmental vulnerabilities that are not fully reflected in the income-based measures alone. By incorporating the MVI into development planning and international supports, countries like Kiribati can better access resources, build resilience, and implement effective strategies to achieve sustainable development despite our structural limitations. Kiribati's ocean is vital for its identity, economy, and food security. Protecting marine life, fighting illegal fishing, and supporting the BBNJ agreements are key to sustaining livelihoods and ecosystems. IUU fishing causes over US $600 million annual loss, a moral and economic injustice that could fund universal childcare. Guided by the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific and recent UN Ocean Conference outcomes, Kiribati believes these issues can be addressed through strong multilateral ocean governance based on the UN principles. Your Excellencies, as part of Kiribati's efforts to support the global ocean commitments to protect and sustainably manage the marine resources, we have committed to increase the value of our tuna and maximize economic returns, and at the same time ensure that this resource is protected for our future generations to the parties of the Nauru Agreement or the PNA. Access to sustainable and renewable energy is fundamental to advancing development and resilience in Kiribati. Small island states and Pacific Islands Forum family at large access to sustainable development and renewable energy is fundamental to advancing development and resilience in Kiribati, as well as small island states and Pacific Islands Forum family at large. Kiribati is investing in clean energy technologies, such as solar lights at household levels to reduce our dependence on imported fossil fuels. We call for the enhanced international cooperation and financing to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy systems that are accessible, affordable, and climate resilient. Your Excellencies, the role of education, youth, and women in building resilient communities is vital. Investing in quality education, promoting gender equality, and empowering young people are key to sustainable development, innovation, and social cohesion. We support initiatives that foster youth leadership and women's full participation in the economic, political, and social spheres. Sports, culture, and traditional knowledge further boost community resilience, health, and belonging, supporting peaceful and sustainable societies. Healthcare in Kiribati faces challenges from the dispersed nature of the islands. To improve, the government will introduce sea ambulances and advance medical services to enhance capacity and reduce the need for overseas referrals. Your Excellencies, equitable and predictable development financing is vital for Kiribati's future. Reforming the international financial system, improving access to concessional finance, data, sustainability, and bridging the digital divide are key to enabling states to meet their development goals. The Blue Pacific recognizes the challenge of accessing climate financing and supports the establishment of the Pacific Resilience Facility, led and known by members with $162 million pledged to fund it. Kiribati highlights the importance of the Doha Programme of Action for Least Developed Countries, which mobilizes international support for the most vulnerable. We await the UN financing for development conference, hoping it would provide concrete solutions to improve access to finance for those in need. These efforts are crucial for less developing countries like Kiribati to build resilience and promote sustainable development. Kiribati reaffirms its belief in the fundamental principle of multilateralism as the cornerstone for addressing global challenges collectively. By embracing cooperation, solidarity, and multilateral engagement, we can shape a future in which all nations, particularly the vulnerable, can thrive and prosper. In this endeavor, we draw inspirations from the wisdom of our forefathers, who taught us that by working hard in resilience and peace, we can secure enough to prosper. This enduring principle guides Kiribati's approach to sustainable development, resilience, and multilateral engagement, reminding us that collective efforts and peaceful collaborations are the foundation of lasting progress. Allow me to close by bestowing upon the United Nations and all its members and all its staff our traditional blessings of the Maori, the Roi, the Tapamoa, meaning abundant health, peace, and prosperity. I thank you, Ambassador.
Au nom de l'Assemblée générale,
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the President and Minister for Foreign Affairs and Immigration of the Republic of Kiribati.